Sports is brought to you by All Out Auto Repair, home of the $46 Saskatchewan and $66 Alberta Safety Inspection. Your complete automotive repair.
Well, Moses, a big surprise today for Rustlers athletics.
Yeah, like you said, it was a surprise to many with the announcement that Lakeland College has parted ways with Rustlers men's basketball coach Peter Sambu.
He had made a personal decision to resign as head men's basketball coach.
After 2 stints with Lakeland College and 2 seasons as head coach, Peter Sambu handed his resignation Monday morning, which took athletic supervisor Rawlake by surprise.
I was shocked, disappointed. You know, you're kind of frustrated. You run the gauntlet of emotions as the supervisor of the program. So, you know, I look in now, I'm kind of over that and now just strictly concentrating on moving forward.
According to school officials, Sambu's departure was for family reasons back in Calgary. The hole left in the coaching position will be felt. In Sambu's short tenure at the college, the Rustlers have seen a steady climb atop the CCAA standings, including being ranked #1 last year.
The man can coach, there's no doubt about it, and you know, we hope he lands on his feet and has success wherever he ends up.
Former Lloyd Comp High School basketball coach Tom Groat will now assume the duties. This will be his second stint with the Rustlers, coaching back in 2008-2009. Before that, he was an assistant. Groat says he's excited to get back to the college level.
You know, you've got some of the best athletes that you're working with. You're dealing with a nice size league, you know, where you've got 12 or 14 different teams. So you're having to prepare every week for a different team. You know, so I just love that challenge and I'm looking forward to it.
Tom was the only guy. That was our first choice. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he's here. He's familiar with the program. We'll never, ever question the man's basketball knowledge. I mean, he's more than qualified.
We tried to reach Sambu for comment, but he wasn't available.
All right, moving on to volleyball. The Lloydminster men's volleyball team has a new look this year with former women's assistant coach Taylor Dyer taking the reins of the club. After a disappointing campaign last year, the Rustlers are expecting more. Emmett Murphy reports.
When longtime volleyball coach Daryl Ford retired from the team at the end of last season, the Rustlers were left in a state of disrepair, leaving Dyer to turn around a team that finished a dreadful 3-17.
The ACAC is probably the strongest conference in Canada, so we have to be strong night in, night out. Again, no breaks. You might think you might roll over a team Friday, and Saturday could be completely different ball games.
In their worst slump of 2011, the Rustlers won just 4 of 40 sets. Obviously, they're hoping to avoid that this year, but will be in tough with an undersized team.
Definitely lacking in size this year. We're probably going to be one of the shortest teams in the league, so definitely need to have a lot of skill on defense and in serve receive so we can compete with other teams here.
Our tallest guy is often shorter than their shortest player on the other team, so we got to work on a defense a lot. We got to get our blocking better.
The team is also relatively inexperienced, so Dyer is relying on vigorous training and his select veterans to guide the group to the postseason.
You know what? They're giving it their all in training, and hopefully we can make it so that there won't be much difference between the starters and the bench by the end of the season.
There's a lot more demanded of us, so there's higher expectations this year. We know we got to do better than last year. Last year was a little bit rougher of a season for us, not having the greatest record. So this year we know we've got to have a lot more improvement.
The Rustlers' season begins on the road against Briarcrest on November 2nd. Their first home game is Friday, November 9th against Olds. Emmett Murphy, Newcap Sports.
The Holy Rosary Raiders are looking to shake off a loss to the Cold Lake Royals last week, as the first installment of the Border City Battle is set for tomorrow. Matt Schumont has more.
The Raiders are coming off a tough loss last week, dropping their second game of the season 37-26. The team says they shot themselves in the foot in the defeat.
A little bit disappointed, obviously, in the result of that one. We didn't play a very solid game, and you know, Cold Lake took advantage of that.
Our team didn't really come together. Our offense couldn't get started. Defense was playing a little timid. Nobody was being really aggressive and stepping up. He was kind of sitting there catching their running back was really good, really aggressive guy. Kept getting the first downs for them.
Now the Raiders get ready for round 1 of the Border City Battle and say they would like nothing more to get back into the win column with a win over their crosstown rivals.
Just to get everyone just to be quiet. You know, there's a lot of talk going on. They're the better team and stuff like that, but we just want to go out there and prove what we can do. We're trying to keep a high intensity, high pace. Hopefully we beat the comp and then we can beat them second time, and then it'll give us a good spot for playoffs.
Speaking of playoffs, the Raiders sit one game behind the comp for top spot in the South Division, and with 2 games left against the Barons, they would like nothing more than to take both contests.
We're just hoping to come out and be competitive, because now the games count, right? Playoff standings and stuff. The game last week is a loss, and that hurts.
It would give us a lot more confidence since we just came out of a loss. It actually get us back on track. With these aggressive practices we're running, it's a little high pace, a little more aggressive. We're tackling a lot harder. We should level out for the comp. It should be a good game.
It's no secret the Barons have a heck of a running game and know they will have to shut down Jordan McCormick if they want to be successful.
He's a load. He's a tough kid. You can't just take for granted that he's going to come down on first contact. You have to gang tackle and get low. He's a big, strong kid, so it's going to take a team effort to contain him.
Kickoff for Thursday's game is at 4 o'clock at Holy Rosary Field. Matt Schumont, Newcap Sports.